to another episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
Anyway.
We've got exciting news for you today.
Yeah. This is our second time of doing this, so if it seems rehearsed, it's not. It's just I screwed up.
It's just rehashed.
Yeah. We just did 40 minutes of the podcast with no audio.
No audio.
So instead of just letting you guys look at our pretty faces, we decided to go ahead and actually redo it and do it right. Although some of the surprise effects...
Now the surprises are all gone.
Some of the surprise effects are gone now.
I'm only disappointed because I was right one time.
He was right. I was wrong. I mean, it had to happen sometime.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, the odds.
You must be joking. Right?
Anyhow, we were discussing...
Well, today's first topic was, where does your meat come from?
And price gouging.
Yeah, price gouging.
And the artificial
here's
hiking of price.
Here's how it started. He was like, I'm mad at the price of beef. And I'm like, it's not the price of beef, it's the value of the dollar. And from there...
Yeah, but, I went into the store the other day, and, there was plenty of beef, plenty of pork, plenty of chicken, but the prices on everything except chicken went up.
Really?
Yeah.
Chicken probably went up, just not as noticeably.
Yeah, well, it was still below $2 a pound,
Okay.
Anyhow, but the beef, I mean, for a chuck steak that used to be $1.29 a pound, for an expensive chuck steak, which is not a great steak.
No, that's you need to hammer that thing to make it chewable.
It was most I've ever seen it actually for was
I've seen like $1.70.
Yeah, I was going to say $1.69.
Yeah.
They wanted $7 a pound for a chuck steak. Okay. That's like asking $10 a pound for a round steak. Those things there you got to beat with a hammer and tenderize.
And they're still not tender.
No, and that's just to make it to where you can reshoe.
Right, yeah.
You can resole your shoes.
Exactly. You got to walk on it for a month.
Yeah.
You got to put it under your saddle like a tartan.
I remember my mother, man. She'd get that tenderizer powder, and she'd sprinkle that all over there and everything, and then spend an hour hammering with a spiked metal hammer.
Yep.
Bling, bling, flatten that sucker out, And so it's already chewed before we get it.
Correct, and it's still
and then she'd
tough
cook
as
it.
nails.
Yeah, then she'd cook it and everything, and you got to get yourself a chainsaw to cut that sucker in half, And most of us kids would just sit there and everything and say, hell with it, pick it up and start chewing it off the deal,
But again, I'll tell you that I believe you're going in the wrong direction. It's not the cost of the product that's going up. It's the value of the dollar that we're using to buy it that's going down. Because you're at the gas station, you're still paying for a gallon of gas, but the price fluctuates because of the value of the dollar.
Yeah, well, see, to put it into perspective, okay, to agree with you, limited.
No one wants to agree with me.
Okay, but
that's admitting you're crazy.
To a point, you're correct. Okay, but only to a point. All right, because if you go by what you just said, okay, so gas went from let's say $3.19 a gallon to $3.79 a gallon, and now it's up to $4, right? So let's just say that it jumped $1. Okay. Since this pandemic started.
Let's pretend, yes.
Okay. So, and I use pandemic loosely,
very loosely.
Yeah. Anyhow,
just like the government does.
So gasoline jumped $1. Okay. Coffee, it's gone up about 60 cents. Okay. Now, beer, the same beer I've always buy, or always try to buy anyway.
It went up too.
It went up $1. Okay.
Yeah.
Chuck steak jumps from $1.69 to $7. That is price gouging.
Well,
if it would have jumped up to $2.69, okay. Then
no, not okay. See,
well,
here's
saying,
where we disagree. Not okay.
No, I agree it's not okay, but I'm saying that would make it the same. Okay, the value of the dollar went down $1, so now it's $1 more to buy a chuck steak. But the price gouging brings it up $6.
Yeah, but when they bring our meat that we eat from cows from foreign countries.
Now, see, this is where we disagreed earlier, but he was right.
It's the cost of transportation is added in, plus the store you shop at, plus the store you shop at. The amount of theft is factored in, and then the government you live under, the devaluation of your currency is factored in.
Why is it only factoring into the steak? Why is it
but
not
it's
factoring
not.
into
It's
the
not.
beer,
It's factoring. You said gas, coffee, beer, meat. The only reason that it jumped so high in the meat is because they knew they could do it. Because imagine if gas went from $3.50 a gallon to $7.50 a gallon overnight, and we'll say in a week as overnight. What would you do?
I wouldn't be working for a living because I couldn't go to work.
And that's why they don't do that.
Yeah,
because they can. They could. They could definitely make gas $10 a gallon right effing now. Because here in the United States, here's what we don't understand. Our gasoline is subsidized. We pay up to $5 a gallon. Well, in foreign countries, they pay $5 a liter. There's 2.2 liters in a gallon.
Yeah.
So we have the lowest gas prices aside from the countries where it originates. Because I've been to Kuwait, and in Kuwait, gas is 10 cents a gallon. You can fill your car for like $4. Fill it. Here, no. London, F no. Anywhere outside of production countries,
okay, well,
you can't. Now, we should be and have been a production company or country. So our gas could be $2 a gallon, and I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. Well, here's a little unknown fact for you. If you're going to be talking about gas and the oil and this kind of thing, I used to drive truck back and forth to Denver every week, right? And there's a little town in Wyoming called Sinclair.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I suppose you have heard of the Sinclair Oil Company, the Sinclair gas stations and all that kind of stuff, right? They have a truck stop gas station right next to the freeway there, okay? And from there, you can look out and see the refinery right there, okay? And the gas station there is actually more expensive. Looking at the refinery, it is actually about 50 cents more.
But the refinery you're looking at
if you go in
isn't
Idaho.
putting gas in that pump. It's sending its gas somewhere else, bro.
Yeah, but why don't they just... It's a Sinclair refinery.
Because there's no money in selling to the idiots in America.
Well, yeah, except, you got all these Sinclair
it's like,
gas stations everywhere.
Let's go with the forestry side of this. We cut down trees in Oregon. We send them to China to be made into plywood and then bring them back. And it's cheaper to do that than to make the plywood here. Why? Why is that?
Well, actually, a lot of the plywood, and I can say this for a fact, and that is a lot of the plywood that is marked as from Oregon is actually from Oregon, because I've hauled it out of Roseburg Lumber. I've actually seen them make it.
But see, again,
brought it up here.
We're going to the beef. Yes, there is product from Oregon. Yeah, there's a lot of product from Canada.
Yeah.
But the big companies, the billion-dollar-a-year companies, cut down the trees, send them to China, have it refined there, and then bring it back. And it's cheaper for them to do that than it is for them to have it manufactured here in the U.S.
Well, like I was saying earlier, we need to come up with co-ops to focus on each individual. Here's the thing that he was saying that it just really pissed me off because he was right. Okay. And that's the last time I'm going to say that. It doesn't taste right in my mouth.
Yeah,
Just,
he was right.
Yeah, that just leaves a nasty taste. Anyway.
My wife hates to say that, too.
Anyway, it turns out that the government has been allowing beef to be brought in from foreign countries.
Yep.
Like Brazil, India, Australia.
China.
Yeah. And they go ahead and they bring it on in, and then
it's inspected here.
Inspected, and then they stick a sticker on there that says product
USDA
of USA.
choice.
Product of USA. That's what it says on the sticker. And that is illegal, and it's a lie, because it's not a product of the USA. And if that's the case, then we ought to be able to go ahead and start buying shit from China and from Indonesia and any place that we can get a $10 product for $1.50.
Yeah.
And go ahead and put a sticker on there that says made in USA.
And we can. There is a website, Alibaba. You can go and you can create your own brand name, and you can get the cheapest ass tools. Like, if anyone know what Harbor Freight is, it's a place where you can go buy a $5 saw that would cost you $100 if it was skill. So you can go to Alibaba and you can get manufacturer direct product, and you can put your name on it and sell it. We could have Rubber Chicken Radio skill saw, Rubber Chicken Radio nail guns, if we wanted to.
Yeah, let's get nailed.
Hey, Bo, let's get nailed. Let's get nailed on Rubber Chicken Radio. Baff, baff, baff.
Yeah, the only downside is that just the whole lie part of it is what pisses me off. So I would have to say made elsewhere, but
if
marketed
lies
from
piss
USA.
you off, how come you haven't killed anyone in government yet?
You notice how
how your foot's tapping like a madman? Yeah,
and how I'm not saying anything.
In 1986, I
buried
a body in the woods. But yeah, it's there's no statute of limitations on murder. Yeah. Now I can talk about when I burned down Burger King, no problem. That's long gone.
Yeah, 86 though. I would have to think about where I was. 86, no, because I was married to my second wife.
I was in Cali.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an amazing trap that we allow ourselves to stay in. And, the from the feed to the power, from where we get our meat to where we get our electricity, it's all controlled by other people. But and we allow it.
Yeah,
we allow it.
Yeah, and we need to stop allowing it. I mean, it wouldn't take all that much if everybody would just quit being anal ostriches and
yeah. But see, we're two people,
right?
And there's probably 4 people that agree with us, going, "Oh man, they might be right." And those 4 people, like you've said before, might tell 2 people, and they'll tell 2 people, and so on and so on and so on. But they tell 2 people, and one person's like, "Oh yeah," and the other person's like, And now there's the conflict.
Okay,
and
so now you tell 3 people until you get that second guy.
But they say that the revolution. The Revolution of Independence took 3% of the population to be fed up with anything. We need at least 30% now. Got to have 30%. If you're not getting 30% of the people on your side, you're not changing shit anymore.
Yeah, what you are doing, though, is just making a bunch of mess. So, yeah, we actually have to pull together, work together, and actually be, have direction. We can't just be a mishmash and a chaos. We have to actually have direction. Everybody.
Yes, this can't be Occupy Wall Street. This has to be, let's fix this fuck up.
Yeah, and which means that, like I said before, we do kind of like a co-op, where we get a group that's focused on one section, and then another group that's focused on the electric companies. Another one that's focused on oil. Another one that's focused on farming, and another one that's focused on ranching, and another one that's focused on shipping.
And we used to have that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we don't anymore because they broke that stuff up.
Yeah.
You know who the two biggest owners of farmland in the United States are right now?
Bill Gates and China.
Yeah, because I told you that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Bill Gates and China. China actually owns 1% of the total land in the United States right now. Owns it. Forestry, farms, factory farms, and other industry. They own 1% of the United States. Now, who owns more than China as far as real estate in the United States? Japan.
Well, that I believe, and some of the Arab countries too.
The United Arab UAE does not own quite as much as Japan. They're I think they're third.
Yeah.
In that line.
Yeah, I was going to say because.
But isn't that weird that Japan owns a lot of real estate in New York, a lot of real estate in LA, a lot of real estate in San Francisco, a lot of real estate in the Midwest. Why do they have real estate? Oh, because they've got farms in the Midwest. Oh my goodness. Why?
Because they can ship it to Japan and feed their countries.
Thank you.
It doesn't really take a rocket scientist to figure that out.
Yeah, but it takes a rocket scientist to tell someone that, hey, this isn't rocket science.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not Gus Grissom, you're not going to listen to me. We never stepped foot on the moon. Yeah, whatever.
Well, I don't know where that one came from, but
that was just,
yeah,
that was out my butt. Because listen, I don't own a spacecraft, so I don't know what the Earth looks like from space, and I can't definitively tell you that we've been to the moon because I've never been.
Well, I can pretty much tell you.
But I watched the movie that they showed us.
I can pretty much tell you that the Earth is round.
Can you?
Yes.
How can you tell me that?
Simple. Stand out on the coast and watch the ships go out.
Yeah.
Because you see them as they're starting to go around the
No.
curve.
See, you watch them go farther away.
No.
And as they get farther away, they get smaller.
Yeah. They get smaller.
That doesn't mean anything about a curve.
Yeah, it does because...
Does it?
You watch a sail ship and you'll see the mast as it gets lower.
Then why can't I stand in New York and see Canada? If the curve of the Earth is as much as you say, how come I can still see 8, 9, 10 miles away? How come I can see Mount Rainier and it's not like,
Because Mount Rainier is like 10,000 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Okay, that pretty much straightens a line.
Yeah, but I can see Mount Rainier from way over on the coast.
But you can stand on Mount Rainier, on the apex of Mount Rainier, and you still cannot see
Hawaii?
New York.
Yeah, well, because the Rocky Mountains are in the way, sir.
Okay, you take a telescope then. Okay, you take a huge ass telescope.
Huge ass.
Yeah, one that they look at Pluto with. Okay, say the one that's down there. Where is that in California? The big one right off the coast. Anyway, it's right there on the coast.
Keck Observatory.
You go ahead and you bring it on down, and you look straight from there, and that's up on a hill. But you look straight from there and try and see Hawaii. You'll never see it. Why? Because the ocean's in the way.
We don't know why we can't see it. We just know that we're told we can't see it because there's a curvature to the Earth.
Okay, here's another one.
Here's why I believe that the Earth is spheroid. Not round, but spheroid.
Sphere, yeah.
Because I believe in gravity.
Well,
gravity draws everything to the center.
Here's another one. Okay, you ever get into it? You said you've been to Iraq. Okay, Hawaii.
I've been to Hawaii.
Any place like that, but going to Iraq. Okay, as you're flying, did you notice that they happen to go north?
Fuck no, bro. I was sleeping.
Oh, well, watch them next time.
But when I lived in Hawaii, I worked on a sailboat called the Alihilani. It was a 4-master. Awesome. It went from Maui, Hawaii, to Fiji. Now, there's 2 to 4 days, depending on weather, where you're in the middle of the ocean and you don't see anything but the curvature of the earth.
There you go.
When you're on the top of the crow's nest and you're looking, and all you see is ocean, and it just goes like it just drops off. You're just like, we're gonna fall off the end of the earth. So I can understand why old-timey sailors were like, yeah, the earth ends over there. Quit sailing that direction because we're gonna fall off. Because it's gone.
Yeah.
Now, flat earthers want you to believe that we live on a plane. I don't like airplanes, so I don't want to live on a plane. But I did see a really awesome artist depiction of flat earthers and how to correct their reasoning. And what it was a huge solar system-sized snowball with small patches of thawed out areas, and one patch was what we call Earth, and then there was another patch that was something else, and another patch, and they're like, yeah, well, they could be right, but probably not.
Well, if the point I was making is that if you go to like China, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they fly north. Okay, why? Okay, if you were to, the reason is because if you were to fly directly east or west, I mean to China.
When I left,
if you go north, you you get there faster because of the sphere.
When I left L.A.
you're there before you
to go to Ireland, L.A. to Ireland, plane went north first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on here? Yeah, because if it wasn't a globe, you'd have to do the long way.
Yeah, you would go in a straight line around, but no, you go north and
so one time I joined this flat Earth group on I think it was Facebook, but they had this 24-hour period where you request, and then a day later they're like, okay, we'll let you in. So for the whole day, I was just like looking for everything round I could find. Like the rings of Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, baseballs, raindrops, basketballs, my balls. And when they finally said, you're accepted into the group, and I made my first post, all I did was post all those pictures of all that round stuff, and I asked one question. Are you sure? Blocked. And like I said, hey, I don't know. I don't own a spaceship, so I can't definitively say, but I have to listen to science because I believe science.
Well,
which is weird because I don't vaccinate. Oh my God, he's an anti-vaxxer? No, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just not taking your vaccines. So
you look at the moon and you can tell if everything else is round, why would we
exactly
be flat?
That's the best meme I've ever seen is everything's round, but then the Earth is a flat disc.
Yeah, I mean,
although we don't know if the moon is round because we only see the one face because it's tidally locked into the planet's rotation.
But as the shadows change, it does change, and you can.
Yeah, but a disc is round, boss.
Yeah, but
a disc is round.
But have you ever looked at a solar or a lunar eclipse?
Have you ever looked at a titty? A titty is round.
No.
Okay.
I have never looked at one of those.
They're round.
I would never.
Areola, round. Nipple, round. Okay. Shit's round.
Either way, what you're saying is our worlds are round.
Our worlds are round.
Yeah. But yeah.
Because I definitely gravitate towards titties.
Yeah, but when you look at like the new moon and lunar eclipse, you can actually see the curvature of the moon.
You can see the curvature of the disc.
No, you can see the curvature of the moon because of the shading, the shadow. You can actually see more detail because of the curve.
I don't know. I've looked at the moon through a telescope, and so I like to think that I've seen the edge disappearing. But
yeah, either way,
you're never gonna convince a flat earther that the Earth is round. Never.
Well, yeah.
Even though it's a fucking disc to the flat earther. It's like, it's round that way. How come it's not round this way?
Yeah, well.
But again, I will reiterate. I've never been in a spaceship, so I cannot definitively tell you that I've seen with my own eyes that this planet is a ball.
I just figured out how to prove it, and they cannot ever, ever, a round earther could never, ever dispute it.
Before you get on that, two things. First, there's a Flat Earth Society that got a digital gyroscope, which detects rotation. And so they said if the world's flat, it's not going to have any blah blah blah. Turns out the gyroscope detected rotation. But see now that in the defense of the flat earthers, we're on a disc and it spins, so rotation could have been.
Yeah, but if you're on a disc and it spins, then you would be like on the teacup ride in Disneyland.
Right, right. And so I'm trying to find. That's why I've been to the equator a couple times, because I'm like, are we just on a spinning disc? Because when I'm in Alaska and I'm drunk, I feel like I'm like this. But when I'm in Hawaii and I'm drunk, I'm just like, okay, you know. So I don't know. But that's just me. Point.
Okay, my point.
What's your point?
My point is, I can actually say, without a doubt, that the Earth is round.
Okay.
And I have proof that even the flat earthers cannot refute.
Okay.
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 Okay. On Dick Tracy cartoons, the Chinaman dug his way out of the ground and everything and said, "Oops, I went too far."
Problem solved.
That's right.
Wash your hands of it. Done.
Yep. Because when the Chinese start digging their way all the way through, you know it's got to be round.
It's got to be. It's got to be a ball. Ball Earth, baby.
Yep. Anyway.
No, man. Like I said, I believe in gravity, and gravity. They demonstrated on the ISS one time with a little bit of liquid and a small chunk of something. I don't know if it was dirt or a rock, but they showed that they just let it go, and it coalesced into more or less a round shape. And that's in a non-gravitational environment where these small particles were drawn to themselves. So I believe in gravity. So I believe that the Earth is round, the Sun is round, planets are round. We're going around and we're moving around the Milky Way.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's this constant motion. I mean, we're traveling. This is our ship. We need to take care of it.
Yeah. But anyway.
Back to price gouging.
Yeah. As I was saying,
it's because the devaluation of the dollar. With every quantitative easing that happens, our dollar goes less and less in value, and it's by design.
And they're also, what's the word? There was a word that was right there on the tip of my brain, and I lost it. Artificially increasing the problem by saying that we can't get our stuff moved from one place to another.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's out there on the ocean.
The logistic problem is a huge lie.
Yeah, because there's more than enough drivers. It's just a lot of people don't want to drive in California anymore because of all the damn rules.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, man. I just watched the thing about California, how the railroad is being robbed just systematically every day, and there's like, there's nothing we can do about it. Meanwhile, the Burlington Northern and stuff are just like, well, they keep defunding us, so we have no security. And then Newsom gets on there. I don't know what the problem is. It's like, you're the problem, Mr. Newsom.
Yeah, when I was driving truck, the last time I went, in fact, that's the reason it was the last time I went to California, right? It's hotter than hell out, right? And I'm out of hours. By DOT regulations, I have to stop for my 10-hour break, okay? Now, this is not during the dead of night. This is, early afternoon, okay?
When you should be moving.
When I would like to be moving, yeah, because it's still hot.
Right.
Now, I pull into a truck stop, and I'm not allowed to idle because... so I can't run my air conditioner.
Right. Yeah.
I can't.
You can't have your engine running for more than 5 minutes in this parking lot.
Yeah. And why? Because they're talking about the air pollution, which I can understand. Okay, yeah, you should, but they want me to pay to park in a certain spot so that I can go ahead and buy an adapter for my window to run it from their system into my truck. You know, and I'm
Here, buy
supposed
this AC flute.
Yeah, well, what it is, you got to buy this window adapter, and then they go ahead and they'll hook you on up, and then you have to pay for the electricity. You got to pay for the air conditioning or the heat. You got to pay for the cable. You know, you got to, and it's like, no, I've just worked a whole day for nothing because you won't let me idle my truck. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I said to hell with it. I ended up going out and sitting down beside my truck in the shade and everything. Sit there smoking cigarettes, watching a movie on my phone, until it got dark enough for me to go to sleep, and I slept for a couple hours because that's all I could get, and then took off again until I got into Oregon where I could take a nap.
Yeah, I was at a truck stop in Utah, and I'm just driving the band van, and signs, like 5 of them. Don't idle your vehicle. Well, it's dead winter. Left the car on all fucking night. No problems from any police officers or nothing.
Yeah. But California, man, they're just way out of it.
Yeah, I can imagine they probably have officers on deck ready to go. If they see you, it's ticket.
Yeah.
That's how Californians make their money when they're in government.
Now, Laramie, Wyoming, they had a deal briefly because when a lot of places in the country started saying no smoking. You couldn't smoke in a business or anything like that. In Laramie, the police actually started going to the truck stops and trying to write tickets to the drivers for smoking in their trucks because that's a place of business. And we told them fuck off, pardon my French. We told them to kiss off and everything because that's actually our home.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me I cannot smoke in my home.
Yeah.
And it ended up going to court, and they ended up having to throw all those tickets out.
Yeah, but eventually they're going to win that case.
Yeah, well, I don't smoke anymore, so I don't really care, but it's the point. I mean, even if I'd never smoked another cigarette my whole life, because, if my wife found out, I'd be neutered. But somebody that is smoking, that wants to smoke, knows the dangers, and goes ahead and decides they're, live or die, they want a cigarette.
I'm trying to shorten my life.
Yeah. I've got kids, I've got a wife.
Grandma lived to 108, smoked every damn day.
But he's got the right to do it in his own home.
Well, see, they keep saying, America's the freest country on the planet. Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Not anymore.
No, it never has been.
Well, when I was young, it was.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I knew freedom.
Man. No. You knew youth. You didn't know freedom.
No, because the kids nowadays ain't got no freedom.
Did your parents have rules for you?
Yeah, but
then you didn't know freedom.
Well, we
don't pretend that you had freedom just because when you were young you could go out until it was fucking dark. That is not freedom. Freedom is being able to do what you want, when you want, how you want, so long as you harm no other person while you're doing these things.
That was my freedom. See, don't forget, man. I used to hitchhike all over the place. I could do anything I wanted.
I used to hitchhike too. Yeah. You can't hitchhike nowhere anymore. You know why? Because they don't want to pick up scraggly-looking guy like me because I might kill you.
I used to take out when I was 12 years old, man. I'd get on my bicycle. I would ride up into the mountains, and I could stay up there for a week or two. Nobody ever bothered me.
Bro,
that was freedom. I could do what I wanted.
Up until 8 years ago, I could disappear for weeks at a time, no fucking problem. That is the illusion of freedom. Thank you. It's an illusion.
No,
freedom is an illusion.
No. I lived in the mountains.
What country has the most incarcerated citizens?
China.
No, it's the United States.
No, probably China.
Per capita, it's the United States.
Well, per capita, but you asked it for the most.
And see, we don't know if China has more because we can't get those kinds of stats from China.
Yeah.
So as far as we know, we have the most incarcerated people on the planet in the freest country on the planet.
Well,
yeah, we are not free. We are not morally correct. We are a warrior society where we go and we invade other countries. while telling those other countries, hey, you can't be bringing your people in here without proper vetting. Whatever.
Well, there again, I think that we ought to agree to disagree with you.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Everyone disagrees with me.
Yeah. Because, like I said, I lived in the mountains for 4 years.
But
I
remember,
had no rules.
You disagreed with me about the beef.
Yeah.
And
But
I was what?
free.
I was what?
You were correct at
Yeah,
that time.
see, so it's okay if you disagree with me.
But I have actually lived free. Because, like I said,
Well, no, you lived off the grid. That's not free.
Yeah,
That's
no,
off the grid.
It was exactly what I wanted. It was how I wanted. It was as long as I
and
wanted.
it's beautiful. But if you're in the United States and you're living by the United States rules, you're not free.
Well, I didn't have to worry about the United States rules or anybody else's rules. It was just mine and my survival, and that was good. That was good.
That's how everyone should live.
Yeah, I agree.
All over the planet.
Yeah. God, that was nice. I could walk around for 2 weeks and never see nobody.
Oh, man. You just made me come in my pants, bro. It's a beautiful dream.
It was. I'm too old to do it now. I couldn't survive it. I don't think I could survive it. That was a lot of work.
It is a lot of hard work, but once you're established, it's maintenance. It's no longer work, it's just maintenance.
You still got to forage. You still got to hunt. But yeah, once the place is built,
fishing and traps.
Yeah, once
maintain
the place was
your
built,
traps, keep your lines good.
Once the place was built, it was a lot easier. But you still had to find your wood. You still had to split your logs. You still had to maintain the cabin. You still had to do everything. So it was still a lot of work. And any time that you're not thinking about living, you're dying. That was pretty much it.
And that's how it should be.
So. But yeah, it was a good life.
We've become a bunch of slackers. We've been trained to be serfs that are dependent upon the control of others, and that is what has made us a garbage society. Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
Well, I have to admit that on that one, I will agree with you on the most part, but there are a few select individuals that still believe in the old I'll do what I think is right, and hell with what you think. And when I say you think,
I'm talking
about the government.
Yeah. You're just talking about the lateral line of thinking. Yeah.
So
because what is right for you may not be right for me.
Well, what is right for me? My beliefs. That should be what everybody believes. Because the rest of the world is wrong.
Well, see, that comes to the utopia discussion. My utopia, I'm buried in titties and pussy. Jeffrey Dahmer's utopia, he's eating men all day. Utopias are different.
Well, there is that, yeah. See, that's like with the Muslims, that 40 virgins thing, That would suck.
42 virgins when you die?
Yeah, that would suck.
That would suck to have to wait that long.
No. It would suck to be stuck with 40 virgins.
Oh, no. I've had... oh, man.
Yeah. Give me 42 slutty women.
No.
Women that know what the hell they're doing.
Nope.
Yeah.
Give me women that don't know what's wrong, and I'll tell them that it's right.
I didn't say picky. I said slutty.
Yeah, well, just because she's a slut doesn't mean she takes it in the butt. No! Did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did. That was a pretty crappy comment.
Thank you.
He likes checking the oil, evidently.
Oh, dude, I like, there's a nice asphalt road right there, and I just go ahead and I take the dirt road. Right next to a nice highway, that rough dirt road. I'm all over.
I got to admit, I like that one. I like Sawyer Brown. They did, I'll take the dirt road. And then Brooks and Dunn, red dirt road. So I guess that's every 28 days. So.
Yeah. So,
But
as long as there's no holes, as long as there's no holes barred, she's a good woman.
Yeah, well, that part I ain't too worried about, but the I don't know. people just got to get their heads out of their tail ends and start.
You call it price
thinking.
gouging, but it's not.
It is.
It's not.
Yeah, because it's not just
It's
that. I mean, the stores are jacking up prices artificially just because they can. They can say, "Oh, well, we can't. We're having trouble getting it." They're not.
They're having trouble getting it. We've had too many robberies. The police won't do anything about it. The government doesn't help us. Yeah. Well, in the end, it's all about the dollar, and the value of the dollar is going like this. And every time they print another one, and they print another one, and the quantitative easing.
And that's a whole nother conversation right there, is the whole thing about the police not helping. Because their hands are damn tied. You know, it's like in California.
Tied. Cops have never wanted to help anybody in their fucking life.
That's
and
bull. That's bull.
the U.S. Supreme Court said that they no longer have to protect or serve. These are servants of the community.
And most of
our taxes pay their wages, and they would rather shoot a black man that's unarmed.
No.
You're right. No, that's just what they put in the news. See, there's a equal distribution of murder from cops on the regular citizens throughout the country, but they want you to think that there is a driving force of over-exuberant white cops that want to just shoot black people, and that's not the truth. The truth is, it's equal among all races.
And the truth is, 99, probably 0.99% of the police actually want to do their jobs to the best of their ability. No, I'm serious.
That is the best comedic joke you've ever told.
However,
because here's what happens to a good cop.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Just once. Let me finish.
No, just like your wife. No.
Yeah, like I said, you guys watch any of the previous ones. Every time I try to make a point, he'll jump in and try and keep me from it.
Make your point. Go. Go.
The ones that cannot, or the reason that a lot of them do not do their jobs to the best of their ability is because some paper pusher in an office signs something that says they can no longer do that.
No.
Yes.
See, here's why there's no good cops.
No good cops?
Here's why there are no good cops. Because if a policeman polices the police force, he is ostracized.
Yeah, but most of the cops, the real cops, do not need to be policed.
All police need to be policed.
No, they do need a leader, somebody to guide them and to stand by them and to confide in. They do not need somebody watching their every move.
Police force is the most garbagely trained police force on the planet. They choose the dumbest on purpose because they don't want people that can think for themselves to think, hey, what I'm being told to do is wrong.
Okay, again, look at the police in Miramar. I hate to tell you this, but we got pretty damn good cops here.
No, we have okay cops.
We have good cops.
On an individual basis, there's a good cop here, there's a good cop there, there's a good cop there. But you know what they don't do? That good cop over there, you know what he doesn't do? He doesn't police his own police force because he will lose his job.
Now, I will...
Proven.
I will back you.
Serpico.
I will back you as far as if a lot of the police, if they see another cop doing something wrong, they have a tendency of not saying anything because they will end up blackballed. They will end up losing their career.
And here's what happens. Because that guy watching that cop do something bad, most of the times, that's a superior officer doing something. And if he says something, that superior officer can set reprimands, and it affects their wages,
it ends their career,
time at work, their career. You know, it's so there are no good cops.
I don't know. I'll still stand
by design.
I will still stand.
And don't get me wrong, I'm white, so I've been pulled over plenty of times and just been told to slow down and let go. Okay, that's privilege. Believe me, I know exactly what privilege is. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, for the most part, I'm white, and I've had 5 cops. One on each arm.
Don't even kid yourself.
One in each arm, one on each ankle, and one jumping in my back trying to bend me while
hog-tied in jail. People going, wow, why are you hog-tied like that?
Okay, 1982. I was I had the 5 cops on me, one jumping in my back while they're slamming my face into the pavement to get me to bend. Then they hogtied me. I rode downtown in the back seat of the car on my stomach. Then once I got there, they went ahead and they pulled me out. They cut the strap between my feet and my
well, you were lucky.
And then they put me in this big-ass blue wheelchair and strapped me to it, and then wheeled me on into the holding cell. Then they went ahead and untied me from that, stood me up.
Oh, see, where you were lucky.
Stood me up, and then they closed the door to the holding cell where all these other guys were standing. Then they had me back up, or hop back to the bars, so they could cut the strap between my legs.
See, you were
and
lucky.
take the cuffs off.
Yeah, I got hogtied a few different times, but the worst one, I got hogtied and I got put into that holding cell with 15, 20 other guys.
Yeah.
And I was thrown in by 3 cops. Okay, and they're like, why the hell are you hogtied? And I'm like, just don't do anything stupid so I don't have to show you why,
Yeah, well, they had everybody back away from the door when they got me in there and everything, and they never did tell anybody that they could move after they let me go and everything. And this one black guy, he finally come walking on up, to me and everything, and he kind of leans forward and he says, "What are you in here for?"
Yeah.
And then I started to tell him, and he goes, "Woo, man, that's some strong shit you've been drinking."
Yeah, one time I was put into the holding cell, and they didn't take my cuffs off. A couple big guys are like, "What are you in here for?" I'm like, "Don't even worry about it." They're like, "Well, okay," and they backed up because I was still handcuffed. But then one approached me, and so I jumped down and did that thing and said, "Are we really going to go this way?" And what they didn't know was I'd hurt myself doing that.
That's all right. The same black guy, I ended up in the same cell as him once we got moved in, out of the holding cell.
And I hate saying black guy because it could have been anybody. Yeah. Because assholes go to jail.
But this guy and everything, he was hilarious anyhow. But when I got in, there was this other guy that was in there for a couple of years. Okay, he didn't go to prison, but he was in the county for a couple of years, right? Anyhow, so he's sitting, he's in there, and as soon as I get put in there and everything, and the guard leaves and closes the door and everything, this guy comes up and gets in my face and everything. He says, "First things first, this is my home. I'm here for 2 years. You do what I say. I make the rules." "No, you don't." And then he started to say something else, and that black guy was already in there and everything, and he goes ahead and he grabs and he pulls him off, tells him how they brought me in and everything, and I didn't have a problem with that guy either. Because, I never did put up with people anyway, but, yeah. So I'll probably end up having to
You're not supposed to make friends in jail, but I did.
Yeah, I'll probably have to edit some of this out. But yeah.
Listen, man, but I'm telling you,
the cops...
Price gouging is a thing.
Yep.
But so is the deflation of the American dollar. And wait until negative. Oh God, what is it? It's negative. Wait till negative interest comes to the United States.
It's almost there.
It's almost here. They've been doing it in Germany, and I know you don't know what negative interest is because you're looking at me like, what the fuck? So, negative interest means that you. Hey. Negative interest means you pay the bank to hold your money as opposed to the bank giving you money to hold your money and loan it out to other people. That's going to kill the middle class faster than everything they've done before. They've been trying it in Germany, and it's working. Woo! And what's really funny is there was a news conference, and I don't know if it was Blair, but it was in Canada. And they were talking about how a lot of the middle class in Canada have good savings. They've got a lot of savings, and we need to figure out how we can make them spend that money because we need them to not have those savings. That was them admitting that they're killing the middle class. Doesn't matter if the earth is flat or round if you ain't got no money.
Yeah. Well,
if you can't eat, Doesn't matter what the shape of the planet is.
Yeah. Well, that's where I feel privileged.
Oh, I'm super privileged, boss.
Yeah.
I did enough things that I was... the smartest thing I ever did was meet the girl I'm with.
That's one of my privileges.
Because I gave her every single dime I made, and she gave me an allowance. And that's the only reason I am in the position I'm in now. It's the only reason.
See, I married a Chinese woman, and
she's tight with money.
She's not just tight.
She could rub a penny and just give you like 15 yards of copper wire.
If she was twins, all I'd have to do is throw a penny between them and sell the copper wire.
Right?
You know? I mean, yeah. And just take it away about the time that gets to the gauge they're asking for. You know, because that woman can stretch a penny.
That's beautiful shit, though.
Yeah, but the only reason that we have this house, the only reason that I have my truck, the only reason that I have my bike, the only reason that we have money in the bank, and she doesn't even keep it all in the bank.
No, it's because I gave it all to her.
And the downside to this point is that she doesn't give me an allowance. I have to take it.
Oh, well, see, that's my upside is I get an allowance, and with the allowance that I'm allowed, I can do anything I want. And the beautiful part is I've done some things that she was like, oh, wow, that's really good. Let me give you, instead of 100, let me give you 120. So I've gotten an increase in my allowance, bro. It's awesome.
Yeah, see, where my wife, she still says that I get too much.
That's why, see, I spend my money on making money, so my wife doesn't be like, well, you're getting too much. She's like, okay, well, you're being smart with that part. What's the other part going to? I'm like, honey, I don't want to lie to you.
Honey, I don't want to lie to you. Oh, do you see what's on TV? Yeah. But, no, my wife thinks that if I got more than $20 a week, then that's too much.
Well, it is for you.
But see, I cannot.
For you.
Yeah, well, I need the money to run this station.
Liar.
Yeah.
Patreons.
And
do you like what you're watching? Do you want to tell me I'm wrong? I'd love for you to tell me I'm wrong. You should subscribe. You should click the like button. You should hit the bell, get notifications, and you should become a Patreon because you'll get to see all the behind-the-scenes stuff. You'll get to see the things that we don't air because, oh, my God, he was so stupid he didn't hit record, or he was, smart enough to hit record and then I said stupid stuff. If you want to see all the stupid things I can say,
if you guys want to see it
unedited, you're going to have to pay for it.
If you wanted to see it unedited, then
you're going to have to pay for it if you want to see real stupidity.
Yeah, but there's some of this stuff that ain't going to make it on the air, you know what I mean? But, oh, yeah. But, no, I have to pay for the station. I got things that I got to do.
There's
I got advertising and,
There's a lot of upkeep.
Yeah. But she doesn't get that, and she just thinks that I'm wasting money, and until it becomes a profit.
Well, because she's on the internet too, and she's like, "Oh, I don't have to pay for this; it's free. It's obviously free. So what you're doing is free.
Yeah.
There's no give or take. It's all give.
Yeah.
It's like, no, honey, no. There's a lot of take. A lot of take.
Yeah. So, but I also do have a lot of fun, and people that actually contact me, and put in requests when I'm live doing the the radio and this kind of stuff. The conversations I have, the people I get to meet and talk to, it makes it worth it all the way. And I am.
We need to take a road trip and go meet the guy that does the country stuff.
Well, actually, here's what I'm planning on doing.
Uh-oh.
Is you and I are going to take a road trip up to North Bend.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to set up a little booth out there.
What?
On the side of the road. Rubber Chicken Radio.
I'll bring my acoustic bass. You bring your acoustic guitar.
Yeah, and but we're going to go ahead and record while we're talking to the truckers and this kind of stuff, and get to know them and everything. And
North Bend's a good place, but Tri-Cities is also good.
Well, any of the places.
Any hub.
Yeah, and any place where there's going to be a lot of truckers, because they get all over the world, all over the planet, but, well, all over the country anyway. And
that
all
is
over
our
the
planet.
countries. Okay, but,
Did you say cunt?
Countries.
Trees?
So
She needs to shave that bush.
But they're really interesting people, most of them. Some of them are really messed up, but some of them are really interesting, But they're usually always really nice.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be cool if we could go there and everything, set up a little booth, talk to them, let them know that they're on the air, this kind of stuff, And, I'm going to see if I can't get somebody to come over and actually run it from here so we can go ahead and do the thing there.
Remote and
Yeah.
then do it.
And,
Well, you put it on your phone, boss.
yeah. So,
That way we run it from there.
well, the problem
Nobody
is,
here.
the problem is it'll depend on how good of a signal we get.
That is true.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, because I don't have like a remote satellite for the feed. So.
I don't own a satellite either, so we're screwed. If I owned a satellite, I would know if the Earth was round or flat. Or would I?
Hair lip. Calls me a
F you! You want to dance?
Yep, that's the joke.
I'm sorry. So far we've established that neither of us knows exactly why prices are going up, and you didn't know that we were getting our beef from foreign countries.
Yeah, and that is just wrong.
We've also established that I do not confirm nor refute the shape of the planet, but I do believe in gravity.
Well, that's because you're just kind of a depressing kind of guy,
I am.
Yeah,
I am.
and to you, gravity is something that really brings us down.
It is. Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, technically there is no gravity. The Earth just sucks.
That was funny.
But yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, the truth is that with every quantitative easing, our dollar is devalued, and with every bump in inflation, our buying power is lessened, and that coupled with price gouging and the fact that mostly foreign entities are our suppliers really is just destroying any kind of middle class that this country had, and the fabric of the United States is its middle class. And as they keep pulling threads,
No, I agree.
we're going to become a more and more of a third world country. And people are like, "Oh, we're not a third world country." Well, have you been to Detroit in the past 8 years? Have you been? Have you been in Harlem? Have you been to Harlem at all ever? And
Yes.
have you been through the Midwest
Yes.
in a decade's span? Because when I was touring in the 90s, the landscape of the United States looked way different than when I was touring in the 2005s and 8s and 10s. It's the change and the depravity were so palpable. It was frightening to me.
Imagine the difference between between the 70s
And
the
in the
2000s.
nows. Yeah, man, because your perception is stepped up even more than mine, because yours is from the 70s to the 2000s. Mine's from basically the mid 80s, 90s through the 2010s, and the progression from the 70s to the now, as drastic as it is, was not as progressively fast as it was from early 2000s to now. The escalation, the rapidness of the decline.
You
is
take a
amazing.
picture from the highway. You take a picture of Boise,
Okay.
in the 70s, and then you take one from anywhere from 2,000 up, right? Not the same town.
Oh no,
not even close. Okay, do the same. Do the same thing with
do
Salt
the same
Lake City.
Du Bois. Do the same thing in Du Bois.
Yeah, do the same thing with.
Do the same thing in Israel. In Israel, in 1970s, they had swimsuit models in swimsuits. Today, if you're not wearing the full burqa, you're put in prison.
Yeah, but you go to Denver. I went to Denver in the in the 80s.
Okay.
Okay. 88.
I didn't get to go to Denver until 2002.
Yeah.
So
I went to Denver in 88. The same route that I went through in 74.
okay.
Okay. And I couldn't tell you the difference. I mean, it didn't look like the same area. It didn't look like the same part of the world.
So you don't mean you couldn't tell me the difference. What you mean is it didn't look the same to you.
Yeah.
It had transformed so much.
Yeah, that you couldn't
that
tell
it was
the same city.
unrecognizable.
Yeah. You know.
Well, it's the same thing with downtown L.A., bro.
Yeah.
The last time I was there, when I lived there in the 80s, and then the last time I was there in 2006, it was just like, holy cow.
Yeah, the same thing.
This is a decimated third world country.
Well, the same thing with Hayward and Oakland, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
man,
Jesus.
Oakland. Don't even.
Yeah.
South Central?
Yeah, big time. Yeah. I was born in Oakland.
But see, and I'm the person I'm the person that thinks this is all by design. This is created on purpose to destroy the middle class, to make the elites more elite, and the rest of us serfs.
Well,
well,
I do agree that it is by design, but I don't know if it's so much about making us serfs as it is about getting rid of us, period.
Well,
yes,
I agree. It's both.
Yeah, the middle class and lower class, they want to wipe out, population control.
No. They want to wipe out the middle class because the lower class is the ones they control.
Either way, they gonna have a big fight with me.
Yeah, and me, but we're just two people in a myriad of people. And you look at me and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, well, when they come to your door, you're just going to give up. No, sir, you're going to read about me in the news, and what's going to happen is they're going to tell you that I was a terrorist, and you're going to believe that because the media has all the power. Yeah. Where what really happened was they came to my house and said, hey, we're taking away your last freedom, your ability to defend yourself and your home and your family. And I'm going to be like, well, this is my last defense then. And they're going to be like, terrorist in Tacoma. Oh, my God, took 3 cops and killed them. No. I stood up for what you're afraid to stand up for.
No, I think it would actually take more than 3 cops.
No, I took 3 of them out.
Yeah, oh. Yeah, you'd get more than that.
I would, but I'm being conservative.
Well, I assume
because I have the stopping power to pretty much make them bring the SWAT team with tanks.
Well, I was going to say that I assumed that you would let me know that that there was a little.
Oh, you'll know.
Yeah,
you'll know by the big boom that you hear.
Yeah, but because yeah, I'd probably be standing there with you. So. But that's mainly just because I don't mind the fight, but I ain't putting up with.
I'm done.
I'm fed up.
I'm done, and like every American, I say I'm done with it. But I'm not going to do nothing until they come to my door. And once they come to my door, then that's when the line has been drawn in the sand, and they cross it, and I help them back across it. And that's when they say to you that I was the bad guy, and you are the one that's going to believe it, because on the media they're going to be like, oh my God, this guy's a drug addict all his life, hated America, look at all these podcasts where he says blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, well, for a minute I agreed with him, but now I'm going to wait until they come to my door. And they're going to come.
Yeah, well.
We've got two generations.
Yeah, I do believe, though, that if we can find the right podium that
the right soapbox.
Yeah, that we could actually start making changes.
Well, no, listen.
It wouldn't actually be complete in our lifetime.
We are making changes because one of you agrees with us, and one of you is Googling everything we say and going, "Oh man, they're right. Oh, they're wrong about this. Oh, but they're right about that." So we're making a very small change.
Yeah,
and that's the ripple in the pond.
Yeah,
and eventually we're going to be gone, but that person is going to tell their kid, "Hey, man, you know this," and then that person's kid is going to tell other people.
But
in 2 generations, we're going to be serfs, and then it's going to take 2 more generations before they stand up and fight. So it's another century before the revolution really occurs, and that. It is what it is. That's how it happens.
I think we can actually do it better than that. But like I said, we got to find the right podium.
Well, I'd like to think we could, but my research shows that this is what's going to happen.
Oh, what's going to happen and what could happen are 2 different things.
Exactly. But now there could be strong catalysts that occur between now and this 4-decade prediction that I'm throwing out there. And I'm no Nostradamus, and even Nostradamus would tell you, no, those are just words written on paper when I was high on lead. But in two generations, that's 40 years. Complete serfdom. No more middle class, ruling class, subclass. 2 generations after that, subclass says, hey, we need to make changes. They take things by sword, and it's an endless cycle. It's happened over and over and over, and it's going to continue happening. And people are like, "You're nuts! That's not what happened." It's just like, do you read books? Do you look at history? Do you see what's going on? Because America is the new Roman Empire, and Rome lasted for nearly 4 centuries. Progressive, so we're at our 3-century mark, and we're out. And I hate to say it, but at the same time, I don't care because I'm old and I'm going to die, and I don't have kids, so I don't have to care about the future. I just don't. But I do. I care about your kids' future. I care about what you're teaching your children and the morals that they're going to be imbued with. And that's how we change the future, is by putting the correct morals into the future generations.
Yeah, well,
and you and I aren't doing it.
Yeah, the future can be changed by numbers, and the numbers need to change in order to shift the balance. And once you shift the balance, then it can start actually picking up speed and create.
Yeah, but it's all cyclical.
But there again, it's got to start at the right podium. We got to find the right place to stand before we can start to shift the balance.
And my stand is that our government is garbage, and until we change the government, the United States is not going to change.
And there again, same thing.
And that's a hard soapbox to stand on, because there are so many people that are like, oh no, it's just the Democratic Party. And then there's another bunch of people that, oh, it's just the Republican Party. And I'm sitting here going, you're both right. They're both garbage.
No, it's the whole thing. Everybody tries to blame Trump, Biden, or
bro, they're
Obama,
going to blame Trump for the
Bush
next 25 years.
Yeah, but they're going to continue doing that, and it doesn't really matter because the president hasn't got any real power.
No. That's like, it makes me laugh
They're just
out loud when they
everything.
put a sticker of Biden next to the gas pump where it's $5 a gallon. It's like, that guy has no control over the price of gas. None.
Yeah.
None.
So, get rid. It's the House. It's the it's all of Congress that needs to get out of there. Don't worry about the head. Worry about the body.
Yeah.
Because once the heart is gone, once the lung is gone, then the head's dead.
Can't breathe, you can't fight.
Yeah. So
that's why the rear naked choke is such a devastating move.
Start voting out everybody that's been in office. Get rid of them and start new.
But see, that's where you and I differ, because you think votes matter.
Well, if everybody starts talking, hey, I voted for this guy. Nobody voted for that guy. And why is he back in office? then they know that the cards are stacked.
McConnell, Schumer, Pelosi.
There you go with the dirty words again.
Sorry.
Don't talk like that on this show.
All right, well, listen. Thank you for listening to us. I'm sorry if I upset you with my truths, but that's how it is.
And I have to back him up. You know, some of his truths he does get from the voices. So, but no.
There's a lot of noise up here.
No, that's why we do this, because he and I disagree on a lot of stuff, but we still see things similar. But anyway, we do want to say thank you for coming to another episode of You Must Be Joking.
Right?
And eventually we're going to actually get it to where it's more joking.
More joking and less you must be.
Anyhow, thanks a lot for watching.
We love all of the 5 of you that watched this entire episode.
And feel free to email us, Gary at rubberchickenradio.com, Veg at rubberchickenradio.com. And let us know what you think one way or the other. All right?
Hey, give us a topic to talk about.
Yeah.
You send us a topic, and he'll do research and I won't, and we'll see what happens.
You send us a topic, and we'll probably screw it up, but we'll give it our best shot.
We'll definitely mess it up. We will not talk about it the way you want to hear us talk about it.
Anyway, thanks again.
Have a great day. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you next.
So long.